It is interesting because nowadays overstimulation is just being normalized. Overstimulated mind. So one day this week in the morning I was watching an interview and the interviewer was asking just a random girl about her relationship with her phone. And she literally said that going out without her phone is like going out naked for her. Think of the time that she spends on her phone to the point where she feels butt naked when she goes out without her phone. That's why I said overstimulation is getting normalized nowadays. And let me ask you a question. When was the last time that you genuinely sit down doing nothing without your phone? A month ago? 3 months ago? When you were 10 years old before you got your first phone? Like nowadays there's no alone person. Even if people feel like they're alone, they never really become alone. Because just by scrolling through Instagram, they're talking with other people's thoughts and emotions. But that causes overstimulation, which is the topic of this video. The consequences of overstimulation. So my first point that I want to cover is that overstimulation is going to cause lack of self-awareness. What I mean by lack of self-awareness is lacking the ability to really realize ourselves and know ourselves. So imagine this. When you were born, you were meant to be a basketball player. You were born to be a champion, to be a winner, to get all the awards, and just to be worldly. But the idea of being a basketball player was meant to come to you when you were alone and just bored. So you're sitting down thinking about your future, just bored, and you hear a voice. The voice that is telling you to be a basketball player. That was meant to happen, alright? So that was like you reading a story. But for your entire life, you have never been alone. You have always been on your phone, and you never got the opportunity to hear that voice that was meant to inspire you to take action. Why? Because of overstimulation. Because of overstimulation, you lost an opportunity to be a legend, to be the best of the best, and to live to your highest potential. The lack of self-awareness. Because how are you going to be self-aware if you have never talked to yourself? You have qualities that you have never discovered yet. You're a great person, but you cannot see your uniqueness because your mind is overstimulated. One of the most dangerous, pathetic things that could happen to human beings is unrealized potential. Having the quality but not even knowing it to work on it, to process it and to enjoy it. So as I was reading the book Psycho-Cybernetics, there was this quote that really grabbed my attention, and it's also one of the things that inspired me to make this video. So it is a quote by Dr. Norton Williams. Man's anxiety and insecurity stem from a lack of self-realization, and that inner security can only be found in finding in oneself an individuality, uniqueness and distinctiveness that is akin to the idea of being created in the image of God. And he said that self-realization of uniqueness is gained by a sense of deep awareness. You're anxious, depressed because you don't know yourself well. You have no self-realization, and that's because you're overstimulated 24/7. So I think you get my idea. The more overstimulated you are, the more you lack the awareness about yourself to know yourself well. Alright, let me get into my second point on overstimulation, and it is about decreased focus. So think about it this way. The word focus, what does it mean? What does it even mean to focus? It means to choose. In simple words, focus is a matter of choosing something over another and sticking to it for a long period of time. And what does an overstimulated mind do? It gives you a lot of choices. And the more choices you have, the harder to choose, which means the harder to focus. When you are used to spending your day just scrolling from post to post, your mind is used to variety. It's like being used to eating a variety of foods. Would you eat one food for the rest of your life if you are used to eating variety of foods for your entire life? Of course not. So if you really want to focus, don't even think about focusing. Just don't let your mind used to overstimulation. Variety. Less choices, more focus. Another thing that I want to talk about is time spent doing meaningful activities. It's gonna vary from person to person, but a meaningful activity means something that you really enjoy and something that's gonna give you experience. Something that you can look past and remember and talk about when you are an old person. Family time, traveling, playing with your buddies outside, running with your friends. Like if your mind is overstimulated, how are you gonna enjoy these things fully? Your mind is gonna be elsewhere and you're gonna regret that one day. Like imagine you're someone 80-year-old and people are really curious to know about your life experiences. They're asking you what you did when you were young and you have nothing to say about I used to sit all day scrolling through Instagram Reels and TikTok. That was really fun. But, and imagine this, again, you're that 80-year-old person, but now your experience is like, yeah, I remember when I was in Turkey, me and my friends were trying to make new friends, and there was this beautiful girl, and I saw her, and I really liked her. Like, you get my idea. Isn't that interesting? Just have this kind of stories. So if you want to be confident about your past experiences, get your eyes off the screen and go out and live life. A real one. Alright, so my last point on this video is the effect that it has on your body. Let's start from the easiest coincidence. When you really overstimulate yourself by social media content, a lot of times you're doing it in a static state. Like you cannot walk and be on your phone at the same time, right? Which means more time spent on phone and computers, less time spent moving. Or look at it this way, whenever you're overstimulating yourself, your brain's energy is getting drained, right? Because you're using a lot of energy to consume that content. Like your body is gonna get tired physically, and that makes you slouch, right? And that's gonna make your physical condition even worse. So it ruins your physique, your health, your energy levels, but all these things could be implemented on something productive and just something meaningful. Overstimulation, it is ruining your life. Don't let the screens control you. You gotta control yourself. I hope this video will inspire you to decrease the stimulation in your life, and don't forget to take action. Thanks for watching. Ciao.